We're starting a new drawing now in the chapter, and the new drawing is called Office Layout _2.dwg. And as usual, you can download it from the library to follow along with the video. Now, as you can see, it is our office layout, but it's been made a little bit more sophisticated as compared to the last video. We've got some new bits and pieces in there. The bin store has been finished, and we've got some hard standing and landscaping to the right of the building. Now, in this particular video, we're going to take a look at the boundary command. Now, you'll find the boundary command over here on the draw panel on the home tab on the ribbon. It's near the hatch command. So there's boundary there. That's the one we're going to be using. Now, just before we get into that, we need to do a bit of zooming. So hit escape a couple of times and pan and zoom to the right-hand side of the building. Now, you need to be able to see these three green rectangles, like so. Now, these three green rectangles encompass a space where we want to put some hard standing, and these are our landscaped areas. So there'll be a little hard standing area here. So if you want to zoom in nice and tight on that little area there, that's where we're going to be working in this particular video. Now, one more little bit of housekeeping. On the layer drop down, make sure you're using the hard standing layer. So click on hard standing, then that's the current layer. We're then going to go up to the draw panel, click on the flyout and select boundary. Now, as soon as we do that, you'll notice that it prompts you for boundary creation in the dialog box. Now, you can pick points, as you can see, and it's utilizing what they call island detection. Now, you want that because it's going to find that little island, that little space inside those three green rectangles that we looked at a moment ago. Now, the object type will be a polyline. You don't need to worry about regions. It will be a polyline. Boundary set, obviously current viewport and new, you can ignore. We don't need to worry about those at all. We're not creating boundary sets today. So we click on OK, like so. And now it will prompt you to pick an internal point. So you're going into this little square area here. Left click once, your boundary will appear. Press enter to finish. And there's our boundary. Can you see it there? There we go. And that's on the hard standing layer. Now, what we want to do is put some hatching in there to make it look like there's some hard standing in there. So let's do that next. Let's do that quickly and easily using the hatch command. So we're going to go to the draw panel again, click on the flyout and select hatch like so. Now, there's lots of different hatching sort of styles available. As you can see, I'm clicking on the down arrow here. Lots and lots of different ones like so. Now, just make sure you're on the top row and you're going to select angle, that style there. Okay, in the properties panel you've got a scale of 1 at the moment. Type in 250 and press enter like so. You want a hatch scale of 250. Now when you hover, you should see the hatch give you a preview, as you can see, like so. Just left click once, enter to finish, job done. You've now hatched your boundary with the hard standing layer using that angle style. Now, that's one way of doing it, where you can pick inside the area of the boundary. But you did create the boundary as a polyline. So wouldn't it be nice if you could select the actual boundary to be hatched rather than just pick an area? You might have other lines, other polylines crossing that boundary, and the hatch pattern might not fill the area as effectively. So we're going to do an undo. Click on undo, like so, up here on the quick access toolbar. That'll undo our hatch. Now, we go back to the hatch command on the flyout there on the draw panel. Click on hatch. And the only thing we're going to change is the boundary selection. So we're going to click on select. We need to make sure that we've got our 250 scale again, because you're doing the undo. Obviously, that reset it back to 1. Press enter to confirm the scale. Hover, and you'll notice you don't get a preview this time because it's asking for you to select the object. Click on the boundary you created and you'll notice there that the hatch pattern is totally different. Don't worry about that. You can right click, undo, change it to angle, click on the boundary, press enter to finish, job done. As you can see, that right click and undo is incredibly useful, especially when you're in the middle of a hatch command like that. Like with the line command, when you can undo each line segment, you can also undo a hatch pattern if it's the wrong style, as you could see there. So that's our hatching using a boundary in our drawing. Now, we do cover hatching in a bit more depth later on, but that's basically how you hatch using a boundary that you've created using the boundary command. Just double click on the wheel now to zoom to the extents of the drawing and roll back a notch as well, and you'll see all the lines and everything else, and you can see your hard standing looking nice in that yellow color on the right hand side.